You're listening to the Health and Happiness Podcast with Travis Kemper and
Lauren Maxwell. Each episode, we share easy to implement strategies to improve your health, happiness, and overall quality of life. Life doesn't get easier or more forgiving. We get stronger and more resilient. Steve Maraboli. How's it going, Travis?
Well, the boys won a game last night.
Yay!
We were on a 4-game losing streak. It's much more fun to win, especially when it's cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, standing on the sidelines, he gets cold. Also, we watched an old Bill Burr comedy special this week, and he was talking about his dog being aggressive toward others. Then he took the dog to a trainer for 4 days, came back, and the dog was lying on the trainer's lap. Trainer asked him what their normal day looks like together, and he told him that they usually go for a run, come back, run up the stairs, and then wrestle. And the trainer said, "You're teaching the dog that he has to win his right to the house every day, and that's going to make him more aggressive." And I started laughing, and my wife is just staring at me because it's exactly how Duke and I interact every day. So, in conclusion, I may not be the best dog trainer, but I am definitely fun dad.
You are definitely fun dad. But yeah, I have definitely seen you do that as we prep for our episodes.
Sometimes it's necessary.
That's so funny.
How's it going, Lauren?
Well, it's been a super busy week for me. I've had a couple of 15-hour long days over the last week. So I've been pretty tired, but honestly, more than tired, I've just been really thankful because we have a little community of neighbors who have become our friends who also have dogs, and they've been really, really helpful over this last week. They've taken Keely to daycare and picked her up from daycare and then watched her basically until I came home from work and was done with all of my work. And offered to bring over dinner. And I was like, holy cow, I don't know that I've ever had people who are just so ready to love on you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I know. I was so shocked because we all kind of just randomly met through our dogs, but now I feel like we're this little community of friends. So just feeling very thankful because I'm not totally sure how Keely would have survived this week had it not been for them, which is great.
Is it progress report season or what?
Yeah, it was progress report season. I've had a ton of evals that were due, but usually within the school system, the way evals work is you have 60 days to complete the eval once the parents sign the permission to evaluate, which makes evals not hard if you're on that timeline, but we have run late, I guess, lots of times in this school district. So I ended up having a week, but really it wasn't a week because I'm only out in the school 1 day a week. So I had 24 hours to get a bunch of evals done. It was probably the most stressful thing I've had to do because the write-ups take forever on top of progress reports, on top of seeing all of my kids for their minutes.
I'm gonna guess, based on my experience, that I know which school you're at, and it's the one that is 3.5 hours away, or 3 hours, or whatever it is.
Yep.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, it was not fun. I was very frustrated, but I was just really thankful that our neighbors were like, we'll get you taken care of. Don't worry, just survive.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that was really nice. Also, Halloween is next week, and I'm so excited. I'm officiating a wedding on Halloween in the morning, and then we're going doggy trick-or-treating with our friends, basically taking our dogs on a walk while they're dressed up in costume and passing around treats for other dogs. So I guess we're doing tricks for treats.
Well, we will not be doing that. We will be having apparently several hundred kids come to the house.
That's so fun.
Yes, and we will be dressed as Buddy the Elf and Jovi from Buddy.
Yay! So cute.
And Duke will probably be in his crate because he doesn't like people coming to the house. Probably because Dad wrestles with him at the top of the stairs.
It's all
Anyway.
full circle. Anyway, what are we talking about today, Travis? I mean, we could talk about our dogs all day, but what do you want to talk about for the podcast?
How important is strength? Really, Lauren?
That's a good question. So we have lots of studies to share with you guys today about strength. The first section we're going to cover, which I'm covering this time, is about mortality, which feels really weird. I feel like I'm stealing this spotlight from Travis, but we'll let him cover one of the articles. The first one, though, was a study that was looking to determine if there was an association between moderate amounts of muscle strengthening activities and mortality risk in a large prospective cohort of older adults in the United States. So they analyzed data from the cancer prevention study, and they found that engaging in greater than or equal to 2 hours per week of muscle strengthening activity was associated with lower all-cause mortality, independent of aerobic activity.
That's crazy. That's less than 20 minutes a day.
I know. It's super quick.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Which means it's really doable.
Yeah. Yeah. For virtually anybody.
Mm-hmm.
A meta-analysis, again, really high level of evidence, looks at multiple randomized control trials, looked at 38 studies with over 1.9 million participants. Yes, that was million with an M. They found that higher levels of upper and lower body muscular strength are associated with a lower risk of mortality in the adult population, regardless of age and follow-up period. There was a slightly stronger association in women than men, meaning that strength is more important in women than it is in men for longevity and health.
So already, right off the bat, it sounds like strength is pretty important. But wait, there's more.
There's so much more.
There's so much more. So there have been a lot of studies that are looking at hand grip strength to determine the association to basically strength and quality of life with like mobility, pain, discomfort, all of that stuff. So there's a couple studies that I'll sum up here where they were assessing hand grip strength in men and women, which I'm going to ask Travis a question after this. They're assessing hand grip strength in men and women, and they found that men with lower hand grip strength had poor quality of life on mobility and pain and discomfort dimensions of a survey that they tested. And they were also more likely to report poor general health and demonstrated lower scores for general health and physical functioning. Women with low hand grip strength had poor quality of life with mobility, as well as usual activities and pain discomfort. And additionally, they were more likely to show lower scores for vitality and bodily pain, as well as the same general health and physical functioning as men. So Travis, I have a question for you. Why are we testing hand grip strength? Why is that the measure that we're doing to like show the association between strength and all of these outcomes?
Because it's easy to measure. I mean, that's really the number one reason. Yeah. It has been shown to be a decent measure of overall upper body strength, because when you squeeze, you get, this physical therapist, but it uses a lot of different muscles in your arm to grip anything. The main critique of it is that it does not provide a measure of lower body strength, which some of those studies in that meta-analysis that we talked about earlier, they use knee extension strength, which would be sitting. Usually, I would assume that they were sitting, and then you're kicking your knee out straight, basically, and measuring that, and that gives you a lower body strength measurement. And hand grip strength has been strongly related to muscle power in the extremities and is an important index for diagnosing sarcopenia, which is age-related muscle loss.
Okay, so now it all makes sense to me. Because when I first thought about studying strength and like its correlations, I was not thinking hand grip strength, which like that's funny because I know that people test that because I am a physical therapist and I've read research before. But for some reason, that was not the thing that occurred to me. And I was like, why are all these studies using hand grip strength? So I just wanted to bring that up. We also found some studies about strength in kids, which for me is really interesting because this is the population that I work with as a physical therapist. So a couple articles were looking at basically BMI, body composition, again, hand grip strength, cardiorespiratory fitness, metabolic risk factors, and figuring out how all of those things compared between kids and if they were showing better outcomes or poorer outcomes. They found that in Colombian school children, both poor hand grip strength, body mass, and cardiorespiratory fitness were associated with a worse metabolic risk profile. Associations were more consistent between hand grip and risk factors than between cardiorespiratory fitness and risk factors. So again, it was more correlated for strength to be associated with poor outcomes for worse metabolic risk factors than actually cardiorespiratory fitness.
Well, Lauren, it is 2021, and I think that we would not be doing justice to the strength discussion if we did not look at strength's effect on COVID outcomes.
I think that's fair.
There was a study, obviously this is a study from 2021, that evaluated 196 patients at hospital admission for muscle mass and strength. So these patients are getting admitted to the hospital. They're evaluating it for the strength at that time. So they're already weaker than they normally would be, but they're still seeing who is stronger at that time. Muscle strength and mass assessed upon hospital admission are predictors of length of stay, is their conclusion. So the people that had more muscle mass when they were admitted to the hospital were discharged sooner and died less often. So yeah, again, it just stresses the value of muscle strength in prognosis of every disease.
Yeah, definitely. And especially during this time, something simple that you can do to help protect yourself is start strength training.
So should you just strength train your hand grip, like get a stress ball and just squeeze it?
I feel like that's a confounding factor of the hand grip strength. Like, what if they only got people who only strengthen their upper body?
Well, you could really throw research off if you got into a bunch of these research studies and you're like, damn it, I'm not training my biceps. I'm not training my chest. I'm definitely not doing my legs, but I will have the strongest grip. Yeah. You just like hang from a pull-up bar all day.
All day. Probably win some records or something, get in the Guinness Book of World Records. But yeah, that's probably not the case for the people in these studies. But no, to answer your question, strengthen your whole body, please. There's also been a lot of research for strength on chronic disease. If you have a chronic disease such as heart disease, diabetes, asthma, back or joint pain, exercise can have important health benefits. Strength training can improve muscle strength and endurance and make it easier to do daily activities. It can slow disease-related declines in muscle strength and provide stability to joints.
Strength training has been shown to have a positive effect on the overall quality of life and the health / slow the disease progression of patients with heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. We could add obesity in there, pretty obvious. That's a pretty obvious one that it's going to. And if you didn't know, obesity kills like 300,000 people every year. So it's kind of important. All right. So other benefits of strength training. Lauren, this first one, I wouldn't have put this in my article, but since it was there, I felt like I had to go over it, and I think it's genius. Strength training makes you stronger.
Well, this is what I want to title our episode. Strength makes you stronger.
Yeah. Or stronger people are harder to kill.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's a good one.
Strength training also helps you burn calories more efficiently by boosting your metabolism. It decreases abdominal fat. It may help you appear leaner. Decreases your risk of falling. Decreases your risk of injury. Improves heart health. Helps manage blood sugar levels. Promotes greater mobility and flexibility. That one's a little confusing. The mobility I get when you say flexibility, I need to see what they're referencing on that one.
Yeah.
Boost self-esteem. Yeah, definitely.
For sure.
Makes your bones stronger and decreases your risk of osteoporosis. Also decreases your risk of fractures. That's a big one, especially if you're a white woman.
That's why I clapped.
Yeah. Boosts your mood and reduces anxiety, improves brain health. Significant improvements have been shown in processing speed, memory, and executive function, and promotes a better quality of life. Lauren, that's a lot. And honestly, that doesn't cover it all.
No, it doesn't. That's like a brief
so
summary.
much more.
There's
so much more.
Oh my gosh. Strength training is the best. I 100% love strength training. Like, look at all of these benefits. Who doesn't want any of these? Like, name one of these that you don't want, because I want all of them. Every single one that you said.
I like anxiety.
I don't. And I want to get rid of it. So strength training is a great way for me to help myself get rid of it. Take it away. So what is strength training? I guess we should talk about that before we're done with the episode, right? What does it mean? What does it look like? It can be any of the following. You could do free weights such as barbells and dumbbells, ankle cuffs and vests containing different amounts of weight. You could do like resistance bands, such as like the elastic bands that have varying length and tension as you move through your full range of motion. And you can even do body weight exercises, because that's essentially strength training against gravity. And your body weighs something, and moving against gravity makes it harder. So that's strength training.
Strength training is just anything that you're doing where you're putting stress against your body in movement.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Yeah. You used to do like all body weight stuff when we were in physical therapy school, right?
I used to. I do not anymore.
Well, I know that. But like what I'm saying is it's as easy as just working with your own body.
Yeah. All I needed was a pull-up bar, basically.
Yeah, I used to do like pull-ups and handstand push-ups and crazy stuff.
They used to be fun for me. Now I've switched back, and then I'll switch back again.
Yeah. Well, that's the beauty of it. There's so much that you could do with it that it's so variable that you won't get bored.
Yes.
So how much do you need? How much do you need to get started?
Well, I mean, you can do it in less than 20 minutes. Like what was that first study that we had? 2 hours a week. 2 hours a week is less than 20 minutes a day. Off the top of my head, it's about 17 minutes a day. And honestly, I've done 10-minute workouts that'll destroy me.
You can definitely make it worth a while in a short amount of time.
Yeah, you don't have to go fast. You just have to be doing it when you just have to make it hard. Like you can't, if you're in my kind of shape and you want to start lifting more weight, and you say, okay, well, I'm going to do 10 minutes and all I'm going to do is 3 sets of bicep curls with a 10-pound dumbbell. Well, that's not going to work. I guess maybe unless you do like 80 reps, but you just have to do anything that's hard. Hopefully you're doing it where you have to take a break and just develop a well-rounded program that stresses all areas of your body, basically. So how do we get started?
Well, we have a whole episode on this, so you're in luck. I can't remember what episode it was, but it was like called How to Start. Or maybe it was
I think
episode
it was number
2.
2.
Yeah. It was like one of our very first episodes. So I would recommend go listening to that. But
And just start.
Just
there's tons of videos on there's tons of videos on God. Now there's videos. I'm pretty sure Netflix has videos. I know Amazon Prime has videos. There's videos on YouTube galore.
Yeah.
So it's not hard to find somebody that's willing to tell you how to do it. Here's one doggy that's willing to tell us that it's time for doggy time.
It's doggy time. Yeah. So you could start if you don't want to go to a gym, because that was one of my like big barriers when I started working out. I just was so self-conscious, and it was just that negative feedback loop of like, I don't want to go to the gym because I'm not fit, but I'm not fit because I don't go to the gym. And then that stopped me for a bunch of years. So you could buy your own equipment and do it at home, which is where I have done for the last 3, almost 4 years. Or you could join a gym if that is more motivating for you. There's lots of options. You can sign up for classes to have somebody teach you how to do stuff so that you don't feel like you're walking into a gym and you don't know what you're doing. Like Travis said, you could watch videos. Also get some accountability. Talk to your friends, talk to other people, have people. What are you laughing at? Oh,
he's biting my hands.
Duke says it's time to say goodbye. But yeah, we have a bunch of episodes. We have one on resistance training. We have one on how to get started. We have one on like how starting new things is scary and other ways to overcome that. We've got lots of episodes on this stuff. So,
well, this was fun.
This was fun.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to listen to this episode of the Health and Happiness Podcast. We hope you enjoyed the episode and are getting benefits from our content.
If your life is improving in part due to the information in this podcast, we would greatly appreciate you sharing the episode with your family and friends on social media and leaving us a review so we can continue to reach more people and improve the health and happiness of the community at large.
Thanks again, and we will see you next week for another episode of the Health and Happiness Podcast.